How many fucking celebrities that you know that's rich, famous, got more money than you gonna ever get in your life, is more beautiful than you ever gonna be in your life, and they're miserable? They don't have a man, they can't keep a man. They're miserable. Look at Taraji P. Henderson. She like 50 right now, famous and rich. Why are you unhappy? You know why? She has no fucking man, because you were made to pair with a man. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much degrees you got. When you're old and lonely, sitting in that mansion and there's nobody there for you to love, take care of, and you sitting on Instagram seeing all these couples and other couples on vacation and posting all these fucking God gonna see these guys. That's what you really want. Okay. All this money don't mean shit if he's not there to share it with.
Okay, so
the money means nothing. The degree means nothing. You need the man. I'm telling my daughter the most important thing she can get in life is a good man. More important than your degree, more important than your fucking career, more important than any of that bullshit.
If there are 8 million people on Earth, then how does Cristiano Ronaldo have 400 million followers on Instagram? Isn't that concerning?
If there's 10 billion people on Earth and Elon Musk has $200 billion, can't he just give each person $1 billion? And here's the twist. He will still have $190 billion left over. Isn't that concerning?
If humans can only hold their breath for 10 minutes, then how was Louis Armstrong able to become the first man on the moon? Wouldn't he have died? Isn't that concerning?
If England is 6 hours ahead of America, why can't they just tell us the future? Aren't they in the future? Isn't that concerning?
There are no names that start with a J or end with an N. Prove me wrong. Isn't that concerning that
if the Earth is 1 million years old and not 2023 years old, shouldn't we be in the year 1 million instead of 2023? Isn't that concerning?
What you mean you don't want this baby no more? Young lady, you 17 years old. This baby didn't choose to be here. You gotta understand, once you lay down and open your legs to these little boys and bring this baby into this world, this becomes your responsibility. All your life, it's over. You gotta do this stuff for her. You just can't give her up for adoption and say you don't want her no more. That's not how this life works, young lady. I'm your father. I'll help you out with the baby. But I'll be damned if you let this baby go and go give her up for adoption like that. You don't do that to your child. You gotta understand you can't have fun no more. You are adult now. Back in my day, when you had a baby at 16, 17, 15, you are adult now. So you gotta grow up. You just can't go out here and just say, oh, fuck it, I give up. You can't give up on this baby. This baby didn't choose to be here. This baby didn't choose to be here. And if the little father don't help, I got you. I got you. What I told you when you first got pregnant, I said, once you had that baby, ain't no going back.
And here's my perspective of what's going on across the country and in New York City. Donald Trump was president. Donald Trump warned us about what was going to happen when another man came and took over. And it's happening right now. Donald Trump said that if we let these people in, it was going to be all out chaos. These people right now are getting cell phones, are getting iPads. They're getting $9,000 a family to cover for 6 months in Chicago. I don't know if they're doing it in New York, but in Chicago, it's confirmed. People have been talking about it. They showed it. $9,000 will cover 6 month rent. I wish somebody would give that to me, but I have to work. These people are bringing their gang activity over to America. This is what they're doing. Now, let's make this clear. This has nothing to do with hate. It's about right and wrong. Some of the migrants from Venezuela are causing crimes, or causing chaos, or causing confusion, and it's making it look bad for the migrants that's not doing this. Right now, you have homeless people from America that can't get the things these people are receiving. You can't. They can't do the same thing. They're not getting. They may get a free bomber phone, which is a bull crap, and a free pad, which is bull crap. Come, you can't take the people here and put them up until they can find a better solution with the problem, so they can get out of that situation, because a lot of them are suffering. Veterans are being taken out of their homes to be put somewhere else so migrants can come in. So this whole thing going on, it's not getting out of hand, it's out of hand already. Right now, America is looking like a joke because people are saying, wait a minute, we can go to America, their country, and get stuff that they can't get? We should have voted for Donald Trump, and we should have voted for Curtis Rock Sliwa to run New York City. Because if Curtis Rock Sliwa was mayor of New York, this would never have gone down. Could us Americans fix this? Other people in other countries saying you need Donald Trump back in office. And these are other people saying you need Donald Trump back there. We need Donald Trump, but the person we need is Jesus Christ.
What I know about sugar plantations, tobacco, and the Caribbean, what I know about American chattel slavery and the plantations there, does anyone right now ever recall mental health assistance to slaves? Anybody remember sending in the therapist after I sold off your son, daughter, raped folks? At any point? Never. Second question. After slavery was officially over, now you're free. Anybody remember any therapy then? We know it's been rough, it's been deep for you, it's been difficult. We're going to do a little group therapy. Anybody remember that? That would be no. Number 3, after slavery officially ended, both in the States, in the Caribbean, the British ended, do you remember whether or not trauma continued? Did the trauma continue for people of African descent? I need to know. Okay, so now let's do the math. Hundreds of years of trauma, no treatment. Freed, more trauma, no treatment. What do you do the math? Do you think there may be residual impacts of that trauma? Of course there is. It didn't end, friends, and it hasn't ended yet. So I think on one point, African people and people of African descent are extremely resilient. Matter of fact, I think we're a miracle. Far be it for us to pathologize or to look and cast this idea of weak and sick people. Oh, on the contrary, I'm profoundly resilient because we've done everything we've done thus far with no help, with not even the ability to have this discussion. As though it were possible, we escaped injury in all those hundreds of years.
Black people, if y'all got money for Risa Tisa, then you got money to buy this land. Because Risa Tisa was nothing more than a victim of a hobosexual. That's what we call them here in Atlanta. And there are many legions running rampant through the black community. That man was not born a liar. That was a result of the environment that black people are in this country. That was a result of black people not wanting to purchase land, come together to provide our own shelter, food, and clothing, and then govern ourselves. And then come together and network with other black people governing themselves in other places to the point where all black people govern black people. That is how we stop what happened to Risa Tisa from happening ever again to another black person. So hit the link in my bio for more details. We got acres for 1,000, half acres for 619, and 8 acres for 500.
Schools are the most dangerous place in America today. Every bad habit I learned was in school. Alcohol, cheating, skipping, lying, scamming. It's slow. It's a waste of time. They're not teaching anything that's relevant anymore. The school system's telling the kids not to use AI. We have this unbelievable technology. Why would I not use it? It's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you're saying, but to be a devil's advocate, how expensive is the homeschooling? Can most families even afford that option?
Well, it's definitely cheaper than public schools.
Is it? How would it be cheaper, though?
Because my kids don't become addicts. $35,000 to send your kid to a treatment center.
I got introduced to being in public school and all that stuff. People
Totally
are doing.
It's all accelerated now. You're going to be a addict and confused about whether you're a boy or a girl. Could be a cat.
Oh my God, I have never, ever in my life seen anything this creepy. There must be a dead fish in there.
I don't know, but oh, there's one over on the house there too.
And they are blocking access.
They're moving around.
Look at that, y'all. Check this. Y'all see these birds? Right. This is literally a sign. This is an omen. What are they telling us? Check it out. She says that it must be a dead fish. Ain't no bird does this over no dead fish, especially if they're not over the prey. Right? The birds are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, just like this Egyptian falcon is doing. Got their wings up. You see, the wings are all colors, right? All these different type of colors, meaning getting these rays, these sun rays. As you can see in the talons, it got the unk on its talons, right? Because it's catching them, handing them at the same time, because got the red sun in its talon, the red sun at the top as well. I believe these birds are sending us some messages because animals communicate with us through these messages. We just don't understand what they mean because we have lost our method of communicating with these animals. And in order,
if you sign up for their program, you get a light skin, weird face wife that never do an interview.
Oh, man, come on.
Listen, in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. And then he gets this high top fade, making all black men think he got the best lineup in the business, and it's a man unit. Then you ask him, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good old bouquet and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. And Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract. Can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? Can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy.
The white female teachers of America don't want black male teachers in them schools. Because if we are in there, we're not going to tolerate the racism that some of those teachers, not all, but some of those teachers exhibit towards our children.
exhibit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Just the fear of the young black man. They're scared of their students.
And the research shows that teachers pay more attention to children who look like their own. This is the research. So if most teachers are white female and you pay attention to the children who look more like your own, who's going to get the most attention in a predominantly black classroom? The light-skinned children. The dark-skinned children are not. Nick, I could take you into schools and take you to the emotional support class, take you to the learning support class, and then take you to the gifted class. And you will see a noticeable color difference. You will notice that many of the gifted children are tan to yellow, and the emotionally disturbed and learning disabled are tan to dark. It's color-coded. You see that? So that's a big factor in this as well.
And that's
I am hoping that by the mid of 2024, we can all come to some sort of conclusion as a whole. And that is for us to be done acknowledging and shining light on the same booty whack, attention-seeking, fake, wannabe rich internet-ass females in this watered-down storyline about how somebody sent them money for lunch and it wasn't enough. We are done. We're done with that. He sent me $15 and it wasn't enough. Oh, he sent me $30 and it wasn't enough. Like, who cares? But I'm going to put that on y'all. Because guess what, fellas? I'm pretty sure you skipped past 3 great women to go chase behind that rat. Why? Because she had a nice booty? Because her titties was perky? Because she had that look that y'all want? Then y'all get mad when y'all find out that they only want y'all for y'all cheese? We don't want to hear that. That's y'all fault. Same with you women. Y'all skip past the 9-to-5 man that's working hard simply because you ain't got no patience to stay down for the come up. And now all of a sudden everybody too good for 50-50, so you don't even want to pitch in and help build y'all empire so that y'all can be winning together. So y'all go chase behind the rappers, the scammers, the drug dealers. Then when they play in y'all face, y'all want to paint a narrative that all men ain't shit. Man, this is for y'all to suffer. Leave the not shit talk with the not shit people. Let the not shit men wallow around with the not shit women. This is not our battle. It's time to start shining light on something else and talking about something else. Stop trying to paint this picture and this narrative that all black women just want men for money and that all black men just ain't shit. These are the people that y'all choose to give the energy to, and this is what y'all putting in front of everybody on the internet. And as a whole, we all look stupid. I mean, as black people, we look so stupid because no other culture is holding these kind of conversations. This is like bottom of the barrel, literally. And then y'all acting like y'all rich. I'm so confused because inflation
that. We gotta change the narrative, and the only way we're gonna do that is if we stop shining light on these people that is begging for attention. We don't care about these fake badass bitches.
See, here's the problem I got with the parent who say my child gonna go to college to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. I got 3 questions for you. You gonna send that boy right there who smoked weed all day with his pants sagging with 50 tattoos on his body to Morehouse and Spelman, $50,000 a year? Let me ask you 3 questions before you pay that tuition. Number 1, did you raise him with the discipline he needs to be successful? Because I'm sick and tired of black parents cursing their kids out when they get kicked out of college for academic failure when you know you raised a lazy ass black child. Number 1, if your child ain't got the discipline to go to college and succeed, why you sending them? Number 2, is your child about to major in something relevant? It's not just going to college. Are you majoring in a career that actually makes sense? If you go and get you a PhD in grasshopper reproduction, what career are you going to have being an expert in grasshopper reproduction? Nothing. You got to make sure your children major in something that is relevant. But if they ain't got the discipline to finish the degree, why did you send them? Most black children don't finish college, not because they don't know the work, Yachty. They were not raised in a house where they were taught discipline. And let me give you Dr. Umar's definition of discipline. It's the ability to do what you don't want to do, but it has to be done.
Taking off your belt.
Whether you like it or not. How many of our kids have that?
What, a whooping?
No, discipline.
Man, this thing is so terrible, what Joe Biden has done. It's terrible. Because, first of all, we've brought in 8 to 10 million people. We don't know where most of them are. They say they have a court case for asylum, but we know they're not going to show up. They're in our country. We have no ability to manage them. Go ask Eric Adams in New York, he'll tell you. We got no ability to manage them. And this guy at the White House and his nutty staff don't even bother going down to see the problem firsthand. They just continue acting like nothing's going on. This is a tragedy for the country. For a lot of the people that have come in, yeah, they're probably gonna have to go back home.
Part 7. You ready? Let's go. Book reference. America. From Amerigo Vespucci, a Florentine who pretended to have first discovered the Western continent. What? Hold up. Run that back. Amerigo Vespucci pretended to have first discovered the Western continent? Did we learn about that in school? No, sir. Uh-oh. Book reference. At the time of the founding of this country, America was called Al-Morikhan because it was part of the Moroccan Empire, known as Amexem. It was transliterated into America by the colonists, and eventually a story was made up that America was named after Amerigo Vespucci. Wow, this is getting good. We now realize that there was a significant motive to hide the history of what had transpired. Now watch this. Book reference. American, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals, or copper color races, found here by the Europeans. Pause. So the 1828 definition of an American originally applied to the Aboriginals, or various copper complexion peoples, found here by the Europeans, which means we was already here. Now hold that thought. Book reference. It is also important to note that the words Muslim, Saracen, Turk, Moor, Muslim, Phoenician, Olmec, Indian, Black, Ottoman, Arab, and others were used to identify Moors. Although words such as Indian and Black are derogatory. Somebody might say, I'm an American Indian, or I'm a Native American, so how is that derogatory? The name of a people must connect them instantaneously to land, history, and culture. Dr. John Henry Clark. Facts. So when you claim to be an Indian, you're in violation of law. Let me show you. United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, recognizing the urgent need to respect and promote the inherent rights of indigenous peoples, which derive from their political, especially their rights to their lands, territories, and resources. What? Lands, territories, and resources. So when you say you Indian, Black, African American, or a person of color, you abandon your birthrights and constitutional protection. What does abandon mean in law? Book reference. Abandon. To desert, surrender, forsake. To relinquish. Never again resuming one's right or interests. People have been tricked to claim dishonorable terms as if they were honorable. Book reference. What does a tribe mean? A group of persons, families, or clans believed to be descendant from a common ancestor. Did you hear that? A common ancestor. Consanguinity, kinship, blood relationship, descended from the same stock, or common ancestor. Inherit means to take by inheritance. Nationality corrects your political status. and your nationality is inherited to you by jus sanguinis, by bloodline, given to you by your mother. All tribes are under the nation, Morocco. Wait for part 8.
They beheaded babies.
No, they did not. They did not. That's just propaganda to keep this war going. It's a genocide. We need a ceasefire. Will you please call for a ceasefire?
You're going to get Hamas to quit shooting innocent civilians?
Well, it's the Israeli bombs that are killing thousands and thousands of people, including children and women every single day. Senator, we need a ceasefire in Gaza. Stop the killing. Stop the genocide. Over 22,000 people killed already, mostly women and children. We really need a ceasefire in Gaza.
Oh, you know what? It's out of my.
But you're a senator, so you can vote on a ceasefire, can't you?
I can't.
Senator, we need a ceasefire now. Over 22,000 people have been murdered in Gaza. Senator, please help us get a ceasefire. Senator, we need a ceasefire now. Too many people are dying. Children are dying of malnutrition. Senator, we need Mark Kelly. We need a ceasefire. Senator Collins, we need to stop the massacre in Gaza. Senator Collins, call for a ceasefire. Senator Collins, I'm not allowed to stand to walk in this hall, and this is where there's a Senate intelligence briefing going on, and they're afraid that we will actually get a chance to speak to our senators. You know, if we were AIPAC, where we give them millions of dollars, we'd be able to speak to them all the time. But this is one of the only places where we can find our senators, and that's why they blocked them off totally here, so that we can't even get a chance to plead with them for a ceasefire and no more money to Israel. This place is so rotten to the core. It's so corrupt. This is not democracy.
Stop calling for a ceasefire. It is not going to get us anywhere.
Hey, sing this shit. Pull it out.
I mean, here are just some of the side effects that are listed on birth control FDA inserts that nobody ever reads because you trust the doctor. Today, tells you can get breast cancer, you can get cervical cancer, you can get liver disease, you can get high blood pressure, you can get gallbladder disease, you can become depressed. These are the side effects that are just recognized. But I don't know, I guess just trust your doctor or whatever. Go look at the studies and why when they tested these products, were doing it amongst Africans. Yeah, they were going to Zimbabwe and injecting them and making them take pills, or why they were forcing people that were in colonies and hospitals to take these sorts of medicines, including, by the way, Native Americans. This is the history that you don't know because you're not meant to know. You're not meant to know it. Because the same people that were behind this eugenicist movement were ultimately the people who created the textbooks that you learned from in school.
Y'all not tired of black celebrities going on stage and bawling their eyes out in front of white audiences for awards they should have won decades ago?
Look, guys, if you try hard like me, they will accept you one day.
Like, can y'all go up there and just say thank you and go back to your seat? Why you gotta bring the whole diaspora into it? Because they're not changing their stance. Y'all still are not winning awards when you're supposed to win them. And it's weird how one year you got us boycotting when you lose, and then the next year when y'all start winning, y'all are crying and thanking God, and this is for everyone black. I mean, it's really just starting to show how they don't really care about us as a people. They really just mad that they're not getting the white validation that they've long sought for. If they really cared about representation the way that they say they do, then they would know that this is a bad look for our children. It tells our children that if you keep your head down and do what they tell you, you could achieve white validation some way. If you make them billions, you just might get millions. And if you do it right, you just might win their hearts.